everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Narrated by Disney, working on Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it, Legends. I was working out the day before I filmed this video. I heard my back crack, and it's been hurting pretty bad. I even got like this sting on it. Try to help. It's been crazy. I basically just have a bunch of comics for you today. We are ramping up to episode 3. Now, if you're absolutely insane like me, um, you don't have to do this, of course, and I'll talk about it in full when I just review it as a whole. But Order 66 by Karen Travis, if you read to like page 335, basically when the Battle of Coruscant immenses, you can read that before episode 3 as well. But if you want to be a normal person, you can just read all of it after episode 3, as it mostly deals with the events of Order 6. Well, the last bit of it will deal with Order 66, but if you want to be in weird chronological order like me, then it's not as easy to do. But starting off, we have Republic issues 74 to 77. This is like the big culmination of the story arcs we've been having with Quinlan Voss and everything. That's pretty much finished up here. I mean, there'll be some more stuff with Quinlan Voss dealing with the, after effects of Order 66. But as for the story that they were telling within the Republic comics during the Clone Wars, that ends here. Overall, it's a fitting conclusion. It's got a really nice, satisfying arc with, Quinlan Voss himself, who's had an amazing arc throughout the entire series, which is why it's such a annoyance of what we saw in TCW, because that's not who Quinlan Voss is. Like, this is a well-established, his personality and everything, and his struggles and his hardships, and we get to see all that, and through him we get a more personal understanding of Aayla Secura, which will make episode 3 all the more harder when I watch it again, because we will, have seen, her with Quinlan and see what happens to her, and it's gonna suck. But yeah, overall, I mean, it ties up a lot of things. It also explains why a movie character is not around in episode 3, and it's just overall a lot of fun. I'll talk about it more in spoilers, but overall it was really fantastic, and I think the whole Republic series is worth your time. John Ostrander and Jan Duursema are just the best when it comes to comics. Some of the best, anyway. After that, we have a free comic book titled Brothers in Arms. It's okay. The art is decent. The story it's okay. It's not much because it was free. Anakin and Obi-Wan look like their episode 3 selves because we're ramping up to that. There's some nice moments between them too, but nothing special because it was free. And of course, it does lead very well into the next novel we'll be rediscussing, because I have already discussed it before, which is Labyrinth of Evil by James Luceno. Lastly, what we have to talk about is the Reversal of Fortune webcomic. This was originally released on the Hyperspace website, but that's no longer a thing. But on StarWarsTimeline.net, which I'll leave a link in the description to the story below, it basically jump shoots across different parts of, I think mostly near just the last year of the war and stuff that's going on leading up until Order 66. Like, it literally ends with Aayla Secura being shot down. And you're like, well, that's depressing. So you could, be crazy like I usually would be, except that I've never read this before, and have like jump sharps where you read it here and then you stop, and then you watch the movie for a bit, and then you read it here and then you stop, and then you watch the movie for a bit and then you read it here and you stop. But I think that's a bit too crazy. And at this point, Revenge of the Sith has been out since 2005, so if you don't know the ending to it by now, I mean, I think you're pretty safe to just read all of it all in one sitting before watching episode 3, and you'd be okay. Um, Afterwards, it should be a bit easier though, because it'll be focusing on after the movie, so that'll be easier to kind of fit. But yeah, overall, I thought all of these were pretty fun. Even the free one was pretty decent. It wasn't horrible or anything. And the reversal of fortune was a lot of fun too. It explains why Ayla's on Felucia. It introduces some new characters that are going to be main characters in the next web comics coming up. And the Republic issues conclude a story that we've been following for, well, at least in universe 3 years now. So that's really cool. Especially if you've been reading about Quinlan Voss since before the events of episode 2. You grow attached to these characters, so it's really cool. And we still got more with him during Order 66, but as for the main plot with him, that is concluded here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Up next, we have the Labyrinth of Evil, so if you are down for that, for my re-thoughts on that, then join me for that next time. I'm going to get into spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, leave. We begin with the comic book gang, with the Avengers lineup. We basically have every single comic book introduced character by John Ostrander, or a lot of them, here. We have Krug, we have Asherod Het, we have Quillen Voss, we have Alis Kira, a couple others, and it's just really cool to see them all together. Thulm and Quinn. Dooku says that Quinlan needs to find Thulm and kill him, and they have this epic battle together. And it seemingly ends with Thulm being dead. Is he dead? Well, if you've read these comics, you know he's not. But in all intents and purposes for the characters, you're meant to believe that. There's this moment near the end of the comic where, Dooku tries to trick Quinn into believing that his lover never really cared about him. That was all sham. And of course, he doesn't buy it. He kisses her passionately and says, "I know who I am. I am a Jedi." And that whole sequence was just, it was a wonderful payoff. And the ending's great too. Colleen's pregnant. Quinn's sent to Boss Pities. That way we can have that mentioned in episode 3. And overall, just fantastic series. And we still got a bit more to go before the Republic comics officially end. But it's crazy if you're reading in chronological order and you've been following this since the first issue that took place before episode 1 to here. It's just crazy the journey we've been on. The cool thing about Reversal of Fortune though is that sometimes after the event of MedStar, so we know it has to be in the final year at least. With the earlier stuff anyway. Barris is now a knight with her own Padawan. This I think it's supposed to be the same race as that guy that werewolf looking guy from the 03 show. It's even got a similar art style, but not exactly. But yeah, that was really cool. As Izon Izard, one of the biggest villains in post-Return of the Jedi content is an X-Wing series with Izon Izard. Her father is mentioned several times throughout the EU, and he makes an appearance here yet again. And yeah, other than that, I thought everything was really good. And it's just there are a bunch of comics, so I have less to say about it than I would if it was, like a novel or something. But overall, I think all of it is worth your time, and you should definitely check it out. Up next, the prequel to episode 3. Re-reviewed, because I've already reviewed it earlier on in my, I guess, YouTube career. But until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.